they're saying, well, it's free, and there's 5v5, and we have a battle pass, and that's something. That's different than Overwatch, right? And we're like, no, you fucking said we were going to get PvE. Where's my PvE? But it's Always going to be welcome back to the channel. Today we are joined with Black Shinobi. Say what's up.
What's going on with you?
Yep, there we go. So I was at work when I learned this news. Most of you probably know by now, but Overwatch, Blizzard, whatever the fuck you want to say, they decided to scrap PvE entirely. So, Elijah, that might not mean much to you.
No, it is not.
Right. But to everyone else it does, because for the past 3.5 years, okay, they have been working, quote unquote, on this PvE. Now it's an even bigger issue because of those 3.5 years, almost 4 years, we had no content whatsoever on Overwatch. The whole reason they marketed and tried to give us Overwatch 2 was because it was gonna be a PvE. Now what I mean by that is the Junkerstein, the Junker Queen's Revenge, the Junkerstein, whatever, the bullshit, Galactic Star, fucking whatever they're doing now, all of that shit, the Retribution things from Overwatch 1, all that stuff was supposed to be one big PvE game, and that's what Overwatch 2 was supposed to be. That's the whole reason it was Overwatch 2. So it's an issue for me personally because now I'm just like, what's the point of Overwatch 2? Because I fought tooth and nail, not really tooth and nail because I didn't have people to fight, but I would bitch to everybody about how Overwatch 2 wasn't just an update, it was going to be a thing. And there were plenty of streamers who did the same thing as well. But now we're here where they're saying, yeah, we're going to focus on the PvP. We're going to trickle in, some PvE content here or there. And don't get me wrong, this video is not just going to be all negative. I do think there is some positive in this. It just kind of blows my mind that they're scrapping almost 4 years worth of work because they had PvE content. I'm not going to show the video here because I don't feel like doing all that, but I watched gameplay of Rialto. They have a segment on Rialto where Tracer, Reinhardt, Mei, and Lucio are fighting through Rialto, and they're fighting these Omnics, these robots, and they fight to defend the town, and then they end up boarding the mothership and destroying the ship. It looked freaking amazing. It looked so fucking cool, but for whatever reason, all that's getting scrapped, and there's rumors here and there as to why it got scrapped, but yeah, just that. Off the top of my head, that's what this video is going to be about. Elijah, do you have anything you want to add thus far?
I just want to confirm that PvE
player versus enemy,
player versus environment,
enemy
okay.
environment, yeah, same, yeah. So essentially,
okay.
What they said they were going to do, right? Because we're just doing the 5v5. Overwatch originally was just a 6v6 type of game, ran basically the same as how it is now. It's basically the same game, right? Just with 6 players instead of 5. And their whole, like I said, the whole marketing aspect of Overwatch 2 was the PvE. They were going to dig deeper into that because what they were going to do is give each character their own individual skill tree, right? They were going to let you customize what moves you got to do. It was going to be multiplayer in the sense of your team, but you go against the computer, right? So like there shouldn't be any need for balancing because you're playing against the computer, right? So it was a cool concept of you could make it to where Reinhardt freaking I don't even know, dude. They were showing some wild crazy stuff, like just with these skill trees. They had weapon inspects. Like I'll get to all that here in a second, but yeah. So it was.
They're just making an Apex.
No, because Apex is PvP. They were doing more of a. I don't want to say Diablo, but it kind of,
So Apex offline.
No, it was more of a Marvel's Avengers.
Okay.
It was more of a Marvel's Avengers, but in first person.
And so this also confirmed that never existed.
No. They have actual footage. I literally watched a mission.
No. I mean, as in everyone was like, no one like on the grand scheme of things, this wasn't like a widely played thing.
No. There was a
As in, like, it was never officially in the game.
no. It was like in development, but there were people who got to play it and they seen it
As
back in
in game,
2009.
as in beta testers.
Well, yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so like there was footage of it. And they had this, but here's kind of what pisses me off. They knew last year that they were scrapping it, and like I said, we'll get into some of the comment or some of the stuff that they said here in a second. But they knew last year that they were going to scrap at the end of next year or the end of last year. But they waited till now to say something because they're like, all right, we're getting a little too deep into Overwatch 2. We should probably let them know, like, hey, this PvE ain't coming, right? Because back in Overwatch, we were cool waiting because they told us, hey, we're going to get this big PvP or PvE. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. Just hang in there. They were developing it. They took all of their developers, everybody, and invested them into the PvE, which is why Overwatch had no updates. And yeah, out of everything they made, it's all getting scrapped. And I'm thinking what's going to happen. I mean, I think this, and I don't know, some of the people haven't said it, but what they're probably going to do is not scrap that completely, like because they did a lot of voice acting and there's a lot of stuff in it. The trees, the skill tree, that shit's gone. That's not. But you could like pick up items like grenades and stuff, throw grenades. Tracer could put down a turret. Like, I think May had a big shield that she could deploy. Like, anyway, it was crazy. But all that's gone. But the missions themselves, I'm sure they're gonna trickle them in. But what they said is every season they're gonna trickle in a new PvE mode. And I'll actually pull that up here in a second if I could find it. But it's just like all that time, literal years invested in this for them just to tell us, yeah, by the way, that's not happening. Like that's rough. So the Lucio map, like they literally have at least 14 minutes. Like this right here, this little 14-minute segment would have been perfect for a little PvE game mode. So many people would have been so content with that. It's so freaking dope.
So I'm not really understand why. Like, so I'm probably gonna be the devil's advocate here at this point. I'm not really for sure why the fuck y'all tripping.
Right, like I said,
it sounds like
it's not a big deal in the sense of like we're not getting the PvE. It's a big deal in the sense of they spent 3.5 years, 4 years doing something while abandoning Overwatch. Right, so we went through them years and years and years of no content, no game development whatsoever, to them promoting and telling us Overwatch 2 is going to be this great big thing, and now none of that's true. Like, like we've been,
so to me, it sounds like
flat out lied.
Well, I don't think it's the fact that they flat out lied. It's more or less the fact that they had to flat out cancel it. It's not necessarily a lie because you have to change your plans. You can't, I mean, in a sense, you can definitely view it that way if you want. And to be fair, you know what I'm saying? And all right.
All right, well, we're going to take a peek at these little comments here. So this, I don't know if it's a website or whatever, but they're called GameSpot. They interviewed the game developer, Aaron Keller, and I'm just going to read through a little bit of what they were talking about. So GameSpot asked him, the big talking point is the direction that you're now taking with the PvE, that you basically aren't doing it. Is that the correct way to characterize it? Is it not happening anymore and you've pivoted away from it? Aaron Keller, the game designer or lead developer, whatever the fuck he is, he then responded with, I think I would characterize it slightly differently, which is we are doing part of what the team has set out to do, but not the entirety of what was discussed back at BlizzCon 2019. So the real focus is on the story missions and that the experience as opposed to the more open-ended hero mode and that stuff. So basically, he's like, we're not scrapping everything. We're still going to do PvE. It's just they're focusing a little differently on the story missions, I suppose is what he's trying to say here. Like I said, it's not all bad. There's some good, but it's just the fact that like this is out of left field. It's wild that they're just suddenly canceling what we've been waiting for almost 4 years. But at the same time, it's kind of good because they're going to be, focusing more on the PvP aspect of it, which again isn't. That's preferred, like that's good. I'm not going to complain about that.
I'm like, so it just sounds like they're going to start focusing on what they should, personal opinion, what they should have been focusing on in the beginning, instead of putting every ounce of strength into something that obviously is not coming about, right? And that part, that sucks.
Yeah.
Right? To me, it just sounds like Dad left and didn't grab the milk.
But
And
what's
that's all it is, man.
but what's hurting me
They
is
said he was
that.
going to get milk.
But listen, here's the Overwatch 2 was for PVE. If
Oh yeah, no, I'm tracking that.
they should have just left it at Overwatch if that's the case. Because Overwatch was for PvP. Overwatch 2 was PvE. They gave us PvP. It's basically, they should have just updated Overwatch. Like, they need to drop the 2 and just call it Overwatch at this point.
Well, it's a little late
issue.
for that, don't you think?
No, I know. It was a little late to cancel the PvE. That's the whole reason Overwatch 2 was created.
Yep, I got that half. I got that half.
Right here, they talk about Overwatch is gonna. So they're talking about hero modes and talents and things like that, progression systems. One thing I will add is like they're adding. I'm gonna pull up the roadmap here in a little bit, but they are adding some stuff that excuse me, they're adding some stuff that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for it, but it's just like I really wanted to play the PvE, like that. I really wanted to play the PvE, and it hurts me that they're taking away the whole skill tree aspect, and like I really wanted to play that. But let's see what else they got here. When did you realize that you weren't going to be able to execute in this way, and what was it that led to the realization? I'm not going to read through all this, but Aaron Keller responds with, yeah, this was a process. Development of any game is a process. In the years following our announcement at BlizzCon 2019, we had a really large portion of our team working on the PvE side of that game. And I think players of our live running game could feel that because we eventually stopped making content for it. It has been maybe 2.5 years since the last hero that we had launched, and we don't want to be back at the point where it's another 3.5 years since launching a PvP map. So we really looked hard at what we were doing with the live game and service of this much bigger thing that we were working on, and hope to release it later. But here's my issue with that, right? He's saying basically that they don't want to go back in time and stop developing content, right? I personally think that they're thinking too fucking hard into this. All we need is a character and a map. That's it. Everyone will be fucking happy with a character and a map every now and then. The issue with what they did. Go ahead.
I could be wrong.
Go ahead.
I know you told me not to read it because you wanted me to be surprised. I was like, I don't really do surprises, and I could have swore they said that that's what they're going to be doing.
No.
So once again, I could be wrong.
Yes. I'm talking about what they could have did for the PvE. There's like I said, I'm going to read you the roadmap.
Oh, okay, I see.
If they wanted to focus on the PvE, I think what it really is, they don't have the people and they probably don't have the money. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the current Overwatch, like Aaron Keller. Like, I'm not going to say it's their fault. It's probably Blizzard or whoever the fuck is it. I don't think it's their fault per se. But it's like their boss's boss. It's like, this is the army shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's coming down. It's coming down from somebody.
The army's fault.
Right, it's the
don't get armed, ladies.
Yeah, Jared's an executive producer, and then Aaron's the game developer. But either way, like, they're getting orders from somebody essentially, and like,
and the orders are stupid.
100%.
Like the army.
I'm not gonna put the blame solely on them. It's just like
I will. The army fucking sucks, dude.
Right, the army's horrible. But no, my point is like my point is they could have gave us a map and a hero every now and then while still working on the PvE, and we would have been fine. They had Junker Queen ready forever. I know they did. They have Malga ready since like 2018, since Baptiste came out. I know they have Malga sitting in their back pocket, and if he's not the fucking next tank, dude, I'ma raise hell. But we'll get to that here in a second. Like, they have people on the back burner just waiting to come out, so I know they have characters, and the maps are fucking, like, it's maps. It cannot be, and it's really funny because now they're doing this game mode or this mode where we can create maps as like players. I guarantee you that like if a map is like really good or whatever, they'll just probably release that in the game. Not as if they made it, but like they'll just probably add it to the shit.
I mean, people have done that. There's just the number one Zenyatta player. One of his skins is based off of what he created, so I could definitely see that.
Well, I mean, that's like the pros or whatever I'm talking about. I mean, essentially the same thing. I think there's going to be a lot of frustration around how we got here because Overwatch has always been a live game. So people are going to think, well, you knew this was a live game, yet you pitched this other Overwatch game. And then you also justified the 2 on the Overwatch title with that. So we're in a situation now where the game is what it always has been. It's evolved in some ways, but a sequel was released, and that sequel's justification hinged on the PvE. Why did that happen? So he's basically saying, like, dude, The whole reason Overwatch 2 was created was for this PvE, which you're now taking away. Aaron Keller responds with, "That's a great question. We've talked a lot in the past about Overwatch 2 and how different it is from the original game, even as being free to play and swapping to a 5v5 team format and all the new content that we've developed for it. To me, that's the biggest change that we're looking at here. It's not just that we have some of the same heroes in the game, it's the way that we're writing the game and how we're looking at the game going forward. I really hope that the roadmap we just released is something that illustrates that to the players." Now, what I will say is that the roadmap, actually, hold on, I'll read what this other dude said. He said, "Yeah, just to build on that a little bit, I think it's interesting thinking about this over time, coming to the team a little bit later and seeing the state of things and building." Okay, yeah, they're being corporate as fuck. I will say this roadmap, I'm about to pull it up. They are releasing
First off,
some
why
cool
aren't you
stuff.
healing your team? Sorry.
Okay. Well, anyway, they are releasing some cool stuff. Like I'm not gonna harp on them for that. Like they're doing some really cool stuff, but it's just like a band-aid essentially. Though it's like, oh, okay, well we just took away the PVE, so now we gotta, give. In my opinion, it's I don't know, dude. He's talking about how what makes Overwatch 2 is the fact that it's free to play and it's swapped to a 5v5. That's not that hard to change. Like, there's no fucking
Yeah, that was
way.
about to be my big point right there. Like, I don't really still understand why people are so upset. I mean, the game was free.
No, Overwatch wasn't. Overwatch wasn't. We're talking about now, like, the point of Overwatch 2 was for the PvE, right? When they said, hey, we're making Overwatch 2, they said it was going to be a PvE experience, an all-new PvE this, and blah, blah, blah. That's what they said. But now, they're saying, well, it's free, and, there's 5v5, and, we have a battle pass, and, that's something. That's different than Overwatch, right? And we're like, no. You fucking said we were going to get PvE. Where's my PvE? But it's, here you go. Yeah, this right here. There are a lot of first-person shooters out there, and you always have been competing for attention. The thing about Overwatch 2 that really was exciting for me and for a lot of the other fan base was PvE. It was a big swing for the team. The distinguishing factor. What is the impact of not having that, and what will you describe as the big swing for Overwatch 2 now? These corporate bullshit, talking about the Overwatch as a universe, its inspirational future. He thinks that he thinks the players can resonate with the heroes.
What player?
I really identify as Bastion. I really identify as Bastion and Winston. A robot
actually,
monkey.
I can see myself as a McCree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the fastest gun.
No, his name's not McCree. It's Cassidy. Be careful.
I ain't on none of that bullshit.
Yeah, this dude, like, literally all they're talking about is, like, cinematics, character identity. Like, that's not, dude, oh my god. I don't think there's anything else. That's like, that's pretty much it. But, okay, here's the roadmap. So, Season 5, this is the next season, right? We have a new limited time event called Quest Watch. Now, it looks like, from this picture, you'll see when I put up the video, or unless you just pull it up yourself. It kind of reminds me... Do what?
Not getting healed.
Okay.
So I'm currently in the match, just not getting healed.
This kind of reminds me of a...
Oh, Genshin Impact.
Yeah. So this looks like a Genshin Impact section of a map here. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When you see the picture, you'll see it. It looks like a little Genshin Impact map. It's pretty big, like sort of like a trying to think here, something else to name it, like a Conan map. It looks like the size of a Conan map. I don't know if we'll be able to explore all of this. I find it, there's like a big tree, there's a fucking volcano, a couple buildings. I find it hard to believe that we're not going to be able to explore this. It probably won't be free roam, but who knows. After that, there's also a Mischief and Magic. Oh, that must be the theme for Season 5, Mischief and Magic. The cinematic reveal with the dog, I don't know what that's about. Summer Games, that's basically just like the Lucio thing. And then I think I told you about earlier, the 5v5 mini comp season. Everyone's assuming that it's going to be, anyone, you group up with a group of 5 and you just go and play. which they should have did forever. That's going to be really interesting. On Fire system returns, and then the creator workshop mode. Do what?
My healers suck.
Oh yeah, and then we got season 6. We're gonna have a new support.
Yeah, what's that about?
Season 6?
Yeah, I read a little bit on it, but I didn't actually pay attention to it.
Oh well, they said season 6 was gonna be the biggest live patch, whatever the fuck they've done yet. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm actually pretty excited for season 6. There's a lot of cool stuff. So story missions plural. I just want to point that out because everyone's like, oh, they're gonna give us like one mission every other season, and it's gonna be in the battle pass, and you're gonna have to pay for it. Da 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 da. This says story missions plural, so more than one. Just throwing that out there. New support hero, cool, whatever. New game mode called Flashpoint. I heard some people talking about it might be a type of game mode where like you have to stay on the point. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's something new. It's going to be a competitive and quick play mode. And then Hero Mastery. I'm pretty excited for that. You'll essentially be able to like, again, kind of like Avengers. Like you'll take a character and you know how they have the fucking different pages of skills.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that here.
So that's coming in season 6.
Season 6.
So that was also supposed to be in the PvE, correct?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think the Hero Mastery. No, I really don't know though.
Okay.
Firing range is going to have some updates. Player progression system is going to have some updates. It's the Overwatch anniversary and then more. And then season 7, new tank, new collaboration event, new control map, new winter event, new hero mastery missions. It says multiplayer. That's weird. Roadhog rework, fucking bunch of other bullshit, competitive bullshit, and then Sombra rework, and then more. Like, that's essentially, yeah. I said no PvE, and they gave us this roadmap. Season 6 looks like it's cool. Season 5 is going to be like a what the fuck. This mischief and magic. The magic is killing me. And I was going to say this during Life Weaver. Maybe not Life Weaver.
You don't like magic?
No, I was going to say this during Kiriko. No. Look. I was going to say this during Kiriko's release. But they said, literally years ago, that they would never, and Mercy breaks this rule too, that they would never have characters use magic. Ever. They said they would never have a character use magic. We got bitches over here summoning fox spirits, Elijah. What is that? If that's not magic.
That's not really magic.
No. If that's not magic.
That's technically.
What is that?
As technically, as me as a nerd here. As
technically.
Oh, shit. Spirit summoning.
That's technically magic.
Is it technically magic?
Bringing people back from the dead? Technically magic. All right.
Ooh,
either way, I'm in this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Black Shinobi, for coming by, stopping by, listening to me rant a little bit, listening to me vent a little bit. Like, but this shit, dude, this is no bueno, Blizzard. What are y'all doing? I highly encourage anyone watching this, go check out this article. Go watch this little video here. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing some of this, but this video quality. Ugh. I mean, look at this, though. Like, you got these robots falling from the sky. You and your team fighting them. Like, look at this. This would have been so freaking cool. There's that video. Yeah,
but now it's not.
Clean that up. Now it's not there. Now it's not. We fast forward a little bit here. And then they get on the mothership here. Same thing, battling all these enemies. May throwing down a bubble shield. Tracer throwing down a turret there. But nonetheless, man, this was going to be so cool. Looks so fucking cool. You had boss fights and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you for stopping by. I appreciate Black Shinobi for stopping by. Link his channel in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.